Welcome back, you guys, and after losing their first 2 games without Gordon Hayward, the Boston Celtics have won 9 games in a row with not only the best record in the East, but the best record overall through the first 11 games. They have 7 different players averaging at least 9 points per game, and as of today, they are ranked number 1 in defensive rating. I have enjoyed watching the Celtics so far in these first early weeks of the season, and I want to talk about Kyrie Irving's impact and the Boston Celtics' present and their future. Let me know your thoughts on Kyrie and the Celtics in the comment box, and let's get right into it. It's really impressive what the Celtics are doing right now through the first 11 games. This team lost their all-star forward for the rest of the season in the first quarter of the first game, have an almost completely different roster from last season. They are relying on first, second, and third year players to play big rotation minutes and have the best record in the league. If you were talking to an NBA fan that was put into a coma right after the end of the 2017 finals and they woke up today and you showed them nothing but the basic per game numbers from Kyrie's last year with Cleveland and compared them to his first 11 games in Boston, that guy might say, oh, he's not playing too much better than last year. His points per game is lower than last year. So is his field goal percentage and his 3-point percentage. But Kyrie's box score numbers just don't tell the full story. Watching how fast Kyrie has adjusted to playing within a motion-based system makes me understand why he wanted out of Cleveland. Kyrie has been hungry for a situation like this where he could be a cog in a ball movement heavy offense. In crunch time, the Celtics will rely on Kyrie to do some stuff in isolation, but overall, he has not been nearly as ball dominant as he was before, and he is sharing the ball more than ever. If you remember back in 2014 and a little bit in 2015 under David Blatt, Kyrie did show that he is willing to play in a motion-based system and get the ball moving all over the court. He did show that a little bit. Now let's talk about the other side of the floor, which has been one of Kyrie's biggest knocks as a player. His defensive effort and defensive stats have gotten so much better from when he was in Cleveland. Not only is he 3rd in steals per game, Kyrie is 5th in the league in deflections per game, 5th. This is from NBA.com's advanced stats page. He's deflected the ball more than Robert Covington, who finished 4th in Defensive Player of the Year voting last year, Jimmy Butler, and 2017's Defensive Player of the Year, Draymond Green. I don't know the official quote, but it goes something like defense is 80% effort and 20% of your physical tools. Kyrie is putting in that effort and using his fast hands to make deflections and get steals. Again, it's only through 11 games and who knows where he'll rank in those stats, but as of today, he's playing pretty good defense. And for someone that was looked at as a defensive liability in his years on Cleveland, it's impressive to see this quick of a jump. The Celtics are ranked the number 1 defense, and Kyrie has played a role in them having the best defense. We still need to see more games of this type of effort, but what he has done so far is a good sign. Check this quote from former Cavs GM David Griffin back in April 2017 about Kyrie's defense. Griffin said, "There's days where he's highly motivated to do it. You realize he's special. His hands are lightning quick, his feet are lightning quick. When he wants to, he can do whatever he wants." And that is exactly what is happening. He is highly motivated on defense and quieting that defensive liability talk. Now, we talked about Kyrie a bit, but let's talk about the Celtics as a whole and Danny Ainge. The Celtics have one of the youngest teams in the league. Once Hayward went down, I thought they'd go through some growing pains, but the main rotation players are doing well. What Danny Ainge has done to complete this roster has been impressive. He has been close to perfect at being an NBA executive. He traded away their best perimeter defender, Avery Bradley. He also traded away Jay Crowder. You would think that the Celtics might struggle a bit on defense with a new team and some young players, but that is not the case. Not only are the Celtics better defensively this year than they were last year through these 11 games, but they are also ranked the number 1 defense in the entire league. Number 1 in basketball with basically a brand new roster. Only 4 of the players from last year's team are playing for the 2018 Celtics. This is what has helped drive their 9-game winning streak. Everyone is locked in and putting in the effort to get those stops. You have to give credit to the players and Brad Stevens for having the players prepared. It is still way too early to talk about who will be better between Markelle Fultz and Jayson Tatum. I believe Fultz will be a good player in this league, but the way Boston's roster is now set up, Jayson Tatum was the right choice, and Tatum has made Ainge and Boston's front office look really smart. Tatum is a really poised scorer for his age. I read this stat last night. Tatum now has 157 points in his first 11 games. That is the second most for a Celtics rookie since Paul Pierce. We still need to see some more from him. He's shooting 50% at the three-point line. That is probably not sustainable, but his first 11 games are something to get excited about. Their first round pick from 2016, Jaylen Brown, keeps improving as an overall player. He's not at the top of the list for most improved player candidates. I haven't thought about it too deeply, but I'd say he's in the top 5 or 6 players in the running for the award right now. He's a guy who seems to always give maximum effort, and he does not play scared. Ainge has also made some pretty bold roster changes when he traded away Isaiah Thomas. That definitely had to be a tough decision. All of these decisions Ainge has made in the past few years is working out right now. Plus, he has a pretty good history of just being ahead of the game. He traded away franchise legends Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett before it fell apart and got a bag of first-round picks for it. He was able to secure a prodigy coach. He stole Isaiah Thomas from Phoenix and Jay Crowder from Dallas, 2 guys that helped them get to the playoffs the last 2 years. He signed Al Horford to a max contract, and Al has gotten a lot of heat for his rebounding, but he has improved that so far. His defense and passing has had a huge impact on Boston's success. Horford isn't a Rudy Gobert type of shot blocker, but he is always bothering shots at the rim. And on the other side of the floor, Horford's three-point shooting opens up so much for the 4 other players on the court. Right now, you cannot leave him open. He can knock down threes. I think he's shooting close to 50% at the three-point line. Ainge made the right decision signing him to the max. And what about Boston's second-round pick, Semi Ojeleye? He's looking like a second-round steal. He has range, size, athleticism, and potential to be a really good 3-and-D player in the future. And I haven't even mentioned Aaron Baines, Marcus Smart, and Terry Rozier, who are all playing big roles off the bench. They just got Marcus Morris back from injury. He'll be a big contributor. It's just unfortunate that Hayward went down because of the wing depth, and the ability to switch on defense would be even more effective than it already is. Now back to Kyrie. So much of how you're viewed as a player in the league is based on what situation you're placed in, and I think some fans, including myself a bit, did not view Kyrie correctly the last 2 to 3 seasons. He has quieted a lot of the criticism he has gotten as a player. Everything people said he can't do, he is doing, and this is without Hayward. Again, the stats do not completely show how well Kyrie has been playing. He's getting everybody involved in the offense, is playing solid defense, setting screens off the ball. His basketball IQ and skill set is being maximized next to a great coach. And you got to remember, this guy is only 25 years old. We might have another level of development from Kyrie we have not seen. We have seen throughout the history of the league, when you combine high-level coaching with a high-level player, special things can happen. It's got to be exciting to be a Celtics fan right now. They probably have the best future on paper out of any team in the Eastern Conference right now. Next year, Boston is going to have an improved Jayson Tatum, another year of improvement from Jaylen Brown. Gordon Hayward will be back. They have the Lakers' first-round pick in 2018. The struggles they will have later in the season can basically be bogged down to they are without Hayward and need more time to gel together with the young players. This team is just fun. The Celtics have the depth and the personnel to go head-to-head with any team in the East. We'll have a better idea of what type of team they can be in the playoffs by around February and March. It will give us more of a sample size. If you made it to this point of the video, shout out to you. I just wanted to talk about my thoughts on Boston's 9-game winning streak. It's been fun to watch, and I'm going to do more type of these videos later over the season. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, I do have my Twitter in the description. I do tweet during the games when they're on at night. My next video is probably going to be on the unicorn, so I'll see you guys then.